Hello everyone, it's 5 a.m. I'm here with Sina, my friend and former freediving instructor in Suza City on Qeshmailand for another spearfishing session. Our goal is to reach the end of the pier. I also brought a brand new shaft for my spear gun. My previous shaft wasn't strong enough. A GT bent it and I couldn't straighten it properly. So I replaced my shaft to make sure my spear gun works perfectly. Now let's go and see what we can catch. In this video I'm gonna use a Rife Euro 90 spear gun. I used to use a Euro 120 but I switched to the Euro 90 because it's a better choice for spots like this, where I don't usually shoot big fish or take long shots. On my first dive, I started descending to the seabed. As you can see, the visibility wasn't good these days, and I quickly entered the murky water. I was lying on the bottom, waiting for a fish, but I couldn't see many fish through the murk. So after a while, I decided to start my ascent. Then a barracuda showed up. I tried to place a perfect headshot, but my shaft didn't penetrate its head. It just hit the fish and bounced off. Unfortunately, I missed that fish. On my second dive, I started descending to the seabed. As you can see, I entered the murk again and I was lying on the bottom scanning the area for fish. The visibility was terrible and I couldn't see anything through the murky water. After a while, when I was running out of breath, I decided to start my ascent. As I turned my head, I suddenly saw two giant GTs, but I was already out of breath. I didn't have enough time to turn and take the shot, and they were too far. Unfortunately, I missed those two fish. Last month, I hunted a 10 kilogram GT and that fish bent my shaft. That's why I bought a new shaft. If you want to see that video, I leave the link here and you can click on it and watch the full story. On the next dive of the day, I started my descent to the seabed and I saw a school of barracudas. You can see many barracudas swimming above me. None of them were really big, but I chose one and then changed my mind. Finally, I picked another one and landed a perfect shot. I managed to catch the fish, but it moved really fast and rushed toward the surface. Since barracudas are dangerous fish and it was still alive, I had to be very careful. You can see I was trying to control the fish and guide it toward the pier pillars. I used the pillars of the pier to slow the fish down and finally secure it. And here comes a really interesting part of the story. As you can see, there is a scar on the fish's head. This is exactly the same fish I tried to catch at the beginning of the video. I missed that fish before, but I left a scar on its head, and now, completely by accident, I found and caught the same fish again in that school of barracudas. And finally, on the last dive of the day, you can see the barracuda I caught on my last dive attached to my spear gun. I reached the seabed. As you can see, the visibility was a little better this time. I was lying on the bottom, looking around and searching for fish. Then, between the pier pillars, I saw a school of barracudas passing by. I moved toward them, but these fish were pretty small. I decided not to shoot any of them and just enjoyed watching them. So here's another day. As we get closer to the summer, the water temperature starts to rise, and this causes the fish to move into deeper parts of the sea. In places like this, it's much harder to find good fish within your diving range. On this dive, I was lying on the seabed looking for fish, and I slowed down this part of the video here, and you can see I turned my head to the left and suddenly saw a giant pompano. I turned my spear gun too quickly toward it, and that movement scared the fish. Unfortunately, I lost that fish. In my previous videos, I caught a 5 kilogram pompano. If you want to see that video, I leave the link here for you. In this part of the video, it's another day and I'm using my Rife Euro 120 spear gun with only one band. I was close to the seabed and I was running out of breath. I checked my dive computer and decided to start my ascent. Then, during my ascent, I saw a barracuda and I pointed my spear gun toward it. The fish was a little far away, but I decided to take the shot. I took a long shot and landed a perfect headshot. The reason I was successful was because I was using my Euro 120. It's a more accurate and powerful spear gun compared to my Euro 90. On the last day of this video, I started descending again. During this period, you are only seeing 3 of my spearfishing sessions, but I actually went spearfishing for many days, maybe 9 or even 10 days. Unfortunately, because the water temperature was rising, I was only successful on 3 or 4 of those days and managed to catch fish. On this dive, when I reached the seabed, I saw 2 small barracudas. They disappeared, but I stayed patient and kept looking around for them. After a while, I saw them again through the murk. I was choosing one of them, but they disappeared again. I decided to take the shot. I wasn't completely sure because I couldn't clearly see the fish, but I took my chance based on the last position where I saw it. I was successful. I took a long shot, but unfortunately the spear didn't hit the fish in a good position. It went through its body, but it wasn't a clean or effective shot. The fish was still very powerful, and because barracudas are dangerous fish, I had to be careful. Again, I tried to control the fish using the pier pillars, and I managed to catch it with help of the pillars. As you can see, the shot wasn't perfect. If the fish was a little bigger or fought a little harder, it could have torn its body and escaped. The spear was only holding the upper part of its body, with just a small amount of skin keeping the fish attached. Finally, I took the fish home, and on my way back to the shore, I started cleaning it. Back at home, I cleaned and cut the fish into small pieces. Then I marinated it with lemon juice, salt, pepper, sliced onion and garlic and let it rest in the refrigerator for half an hour. Finally, I coated the fish with some flour and spices like turmeric and fried it in a pan. In Iran, we usually serve this kind of food with rice. And here is the final result. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments.